Hi, I'm Victoria, and I'm so excited for you to join me on a full Get Ready With Me session. I'm so used to filming this for like TikTok or Instagram and just cramming it into a few seconds, but you're gonna get to see the whole routine now. And of course, I have to start with sharing how important your skincare is before you get into the makeup. I am someone who has struggled in the past with my makeup looking really cakey, really dry in certain areas. And it wasn't the makeup I was using, it was actually the skincare. So I did do my skincare before we started. So this is the cleanser I use. I use this every single day. I did a little bit of exfoliating as well with this peel. You're supposed to use this like once a week. Well, you can use this once a week. I actually use this more on like a monthly basis or when I feel necessary, even if I end up going like 4 months without using it. I stick to exfoliating when I feel like my skin really needs it. This is my go-to moisturizer. If you want to have like the softest, smoothest, most hydrated skin ever, I highly recommend this one. I put it on in the morning and my skin stays hydrated until nighttime. So trust me, it's good. And then Glow Recipe for the lips. This is my lip balm. You will have the smoothest, most kissable lips all day long. So that is what is on my face for today. Now, let's get into the makeup routine. Normally, I would be clipping my hair back. That's like the first step that I typically do. But I just got a trim today. Got my hair cut and got my hair all nice and done, so I don't want to ruin it. I'm gonna try to savor it as long as I possibly can. So I'm just gonna get my hair back behind my ears so it's out of my face. Hopefully I don't get makeup all over it today. So I love this Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Primer. This is like the illuminating one. Gives me a little bit of glow. Sorry if I keep looking like behind the camera. There's a mirror on the other side because I can't see myself in the camera, so I'm looking in the mirror. And then I go in with this product from Tula. As you can see, look how like thin it is. I'm like always pressing it all the way down. I've been using this for so long. So this is the Blurring Filter Primer. I swear when I put this thing on, it makes me look like I'm wearing a filter. Like the name is so accurate for it. It just like really minimizes your pores, and it is moisturizing too. So I feel like all these products that I go in with are super moisturizing, and that is how I've really improved with my makeup over the past few years, of just really prioritizing moisturizing skincare, which I think when I was younger, I used to be like scared of because I didn't want like oily skin. So I hated anything too moisturizing. Now, as I get older, it's like all the anti-aging. It's like moisturize, moisturize, moisturize. All right, now we'll get into the actual makeup. So I start off with my Charlotte Tilbury. You can't actually see the title. This is the Flawless Filter Primer, I believe it's called, by Charlotte Tilbury. Okay, so I just put this all over. I'm obsessed with this. This is one of like my tried and true products. Anyone who tells me they don't use this, I'm like, please do me a favor and just get it. You're gonna love it. It really is a flawless filter. And I blend that in the way I would just like foundation, you know, all over. Dab, dab, dab. Sometimes I do a little bit of rubbing when I post a video like on TikTok doing my makeup. People always comment like, dab, don't rub. And when I'm conscious of it, like I do it right, but sometimes I just forget. So I do what I can. Step one, done, and now we go in with the foundation. Oh wait, this is not the foundation I want to use. Hold on. This is the foundation I want to use, sorry. I use this foundation sometimes. This is also Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation, but I'm really pale right now, so I have this one. But I prefer this one instead. I think that this one makes my skin look better. So this is Kosas, the Revealer Skin Improving Foundation. I actually didn't even realize it's called Skin Improving. And I think that I think that that's accurate. I think that it is. I feel like this one sits nicer on my skin for some reason. So I do prefer the Kosas one, not gonna lie. And I just get all in there. I might use that Charlotte Tilbury one maybe when I'm on like vacation, when I get a little bit more of a tan. We're gonna stick to this one for now. Look, there I go with the rubbing. Okay, do as I say, not as I do. Dab. I also think this one has like pretty good coverage. It might be like a medium coverage, but I actually have a lot of like freckles on my face and I like when they're covered, so I do like a medium to heavy kind of coverage, like a full coverage. Okay. Looking good, girl, looking good. All right, foundation, done. Also using Kosas is my concealer. Sorry, lost the name there for a second. Concealer. I love this brand, I really do. And I don't know if I do concealer right, because some people say that you're not supposed to use the same concealer like on acne or blemishes that you use under your eyes, but I use this concealer for everything and I have no issues with it. So I go right around here, like the chin, you know, lower side of my face area, under the eyes, the nose. Do not judge this beauty blender. I know that there's makeup on it. Today is actually the day that I am cleaning my brushes, getting them all ready for the weekend. I do have 2 parties coming up this weekend, so I want my brushes to be nice and clean. But yeah, I just go in, get all in there in the corners. I like to make sure that I get like a line here with my contour. With my concealer. I like to make sure that I get a line here with my concealer because it helps me when I contour as well. I like to contour the nose area. So this type of beauty blender, I think to me works the best with makeup, with concealer, so that I could really like get my lines right to prepare for my contour step. And same here. So same thing with the lines, because I'm using the sharper beauty blender, it helps me like create my lines, and I do a contour here. So this just really helps me like get prepared. It's like tracing. Like you're gonna like go over the lines, you know? Okay, that part is good. Now, which one do I want to use? So I have 2 different types of powders that I like. So this is the Laura Mercier translucent powder, and this is the Kosas Comfy Cloud Set powder. I think this one is like loose like that, you know, and this one is just kind of flat. Which one? You know what? I'll go a little dramatic for you guys. I'll do that one. So I'm not going to use this one, but I do love this one, and it really like mattifies your face. So if you have like really excess oils, it will take it off, but it's not going to remove your glow. Like you'll still have a nice glow, but it'll kind of, you know, matte it out if you're like super oily. So I actually do love that one, but I'm gonna go in with the loose powder for today. Let me show you the difference if you want to see it. This is not a loose powder, it's just flat like that. Almost looks like a blush or a bronzer, you know, just plain whatever. But this one is the loose powder. So I take this little triangular sponge situation here, go in, and I make sure that I get with those lines that I was talking about. Go under the eye. Having like angular, like this type of you know, things as far as like applying makeup, whether it's that sponge that, you know, the beauty blender I was showing you, or this one, I just think that they're super helpful. That's a little beauty hack of mine. I think it just helps you to be more precise. So there you have that. See, we're getting all ready. Bake, bake, bake. Now, while I let that sit for a little bit, I'm gonna spruce up my eyebrows. What are we gonna do today? So I have also from Kosas, this is the Brow Pop. So I like to brush the brows first. Get them all nice and brushed out. My eyebrows are like really thick and messy. I do need to get them done soon. They're so much better when they're nice and fresh. But I try to fix them up as much as I can with this. It's the brush on one side and then like the pen on the other side. And I tend to like go back in with the brush so I can like make sure that I'm continuing to do like that it looks good, you know, as I go through it. Because sometimes when I go through with the brush, I kind of like lose sight. Sometimes when I go through with this side, I mean like the pen side, the pencil side, I lose sight of what I'm actually gonna make them come out looking like. And I do not like a huge dark brow. Okay, I think that's pretty good. And now let's go in on this side. If y'all have not noticed, I'm a lefty, and that makes me pretty special. Not many people are lefties. I think that that's kind of like made makeup and hair a bit harder for me, because anytime that anyone teaches you something with like makeup and hair, they're using their right hand. So I feel like I was taught how to do certain things with my right hand, and then I had to like try to learn to do it with my left hand. But I don't think I'm that bad. I think I've got it figured out. Okay. So we got the brows going here. I'm not going to use the tinted one today, but I do like this one. I'm just gonna use the clear one instead because I did do a decent amount with the, you know, brush, the pen. So I'm just gonna go over it to seal them. But sometimes, like when I get my eyebrows done, when they're all fresh, I might have like maybe empty spots, and I like to just like go over them with the colored one. Now that'll set. And I'm going to go in and start to do my contour. So I'm gonna take it away from here. I'm gonna keep it on my nose for a little bit, let it set just like a little bit longer. But I'm gonna take away from down here and directly under the eyes. So keeping it on the nose just for a few more minutes. Once I'm done with the contour, then I will get that out. So I have my Charlotte Tilbury contour wand, and I put like the smallest amount because it's like really concentrated. You do not need a lot. And I put like a dot more there. Okay. Now, ooh, voice crack. Now, this is a kabuki brush that is broken. This was like a longer brush, but it doesn't matter. So as long as it's like a firmer type of brush instead of like something like this one, so like flimsy, that's a blush brush, this is good for contour. I love a kabuki brush. So now I just go in, I do this. I know a lot of people use their beauty blender for the Charlotte Tilbury contour wand, but I do not like the way that it makes it come out on my face. Looks beautiful on other people, but I don't know, it just doesn't work for me. So this kabuki brush is my best bet. I go in, blend that all out. Now I'm gonna take it off from my nose because I'm gonna do my nose contour here. So get all that out. I do not use the Charlotte Tilbury on my nose. I just feel like it's way too much. So what I do right now is I go in with my powdered bronzer and I like re-contour over it, and I do that on my nose as well. So you'll see. This is the Makeup by Mario. What's it called? Soft Sculpt Bronzer. I love this one. So I take this big like Kosas fan brush, and then I'm gonna go in and basically re-contour over what I just did. And it just gives it, I feel like, more definition, makes it like pop more. Make sure you go down the neck. You don't want your face and your neck to be two different colors. Been there, done that. I use an eyeshadow brush now. And this is actually like a really small kabuki looking brush, but I don't think it is. I think it's just an eyeshadow brush. And with the same thing, the Makeup by Mario, I do my nose contour. Because I like it to be subtle. Like I don't want it to be, you know, I don't want to have any dramatic lines on my nose. But I also want to have a little snatched little nose here, so. But that's why those lines help, because it helps me to like, you know, just stay like consistent with my like it helps me to, how do I want to say that? It helps me to even out from when I do like the concealer to the contour. I don't really know what I'm trying to say, but all I know is a snatched nose is the result. So don't worry about what I'm trying to say. Just do it, okay? Just take my advice. Now for blush, I have Iconic London, that's the brand. Kissed by the Sun, I think that's the shade. So it's this like really pretty pink. I go in with this big Real Techniques blush brush and just have at it. We love blush, so I like to get in there. Bam. Sun-kissed is right. I don't always do highlighter, but sometimes I'm just like in the mood. I have this little Dior palette. I'm gonna just do the tiniest amount of this like gold looking one, just to do a little shimmer, because why not? I think that my like use of highlighter just depends on my mood for the day, you know? And I'm in that kind of mood today. So now, all right, let's do eyes. I'm gonna keep it real with you. For the most part, I just use my bronzer as my eyeshadow. I find it to be like a pretty color, really easy. I did just get the new Skin palette, Skin by Kim. That's like the latest, you know, fad. So I did go ahead and buy it. So I'll use it for the video, why not? But I will say that that is like one of my beauty hacks. People always ask me about my eyeshadow when for the most part, it's just my bronzer. And what I would do, to be honest, why, you know how I did that like nose thing with this? I would just use the same brush and just like go on my eyelids like that and call it a day. And that's literally all the eyeshadow that I would do. People would be like, no way. I'm like, yeah. I don't even really know how to do good eyeshadow. And now I kind of did it, so it's already on. But I'll do a little bit more with the Skin by Kim. I'm just gonna do a tiny drop. So it's this like matte, cute little palette. I'm gonna go in with this light kind of beige one here. As you can see by looking at all the squares, it's basically the only one that I use. I'm gonna get around one of these days to figuring out how to really do eyeshadow and do the rest of the palette. But I'm just using that same brush I was talking about before. I really don't go crazy with eyeshadow. I got mirrors all over, so I'm like looking in every possible direction right now. Gotta make sure the eyes are even. And that's basically it. I have this little brush that I could dab like, oh, why don't I use this mirror? Silly me. And I'm just gonna like blend it, dab it in this like bottom area. A wise woman once said, what did she say? What are the lyrics of that? Well, I guess the lyrics aren't exactly accurate. She says, it ain't about how fast you get there. It's the climb. Wait, no, that's not the quote I'm trying to say. That's not what I was trying to get at. The point of what I'm trying to say, which the climb lyrics by Miley Cyrus did not work out, was that I was trying to say, don't worry about the process. The end result comes out okay. That's like what I was trying to get at. And I feel like there's gotta be a quote that applies to that. I tried to get philosophical with the climb, but that was a fail. Point is, the process may look a little crazy, but you know, the result is not all that bad. Let's talk about a Kim throwback situation. My other palette that I have, this is the KKW Beauty, which I think came out in like 2016. Consistency. I am a creature of habit, okay? Look at this. This is like basically the color that I just said that I used in the other palette. And I don't use any other color. I just like the light browns, I guess. Creature of habit. I'm gonna curl my lashes. Okay. Are we curled? I think so. All right, now I use 2 mascaras. So they are both Benefit, Roller Lash and Fan Fest. So I'm gonna go in with the Roller Lash first. And I have them in the travel sizes. Honestly, they last me a while. I feel like the brushes are better. I don't know why. I like the way that my lashes come out. So I just use the minis. And I mean, I use two mascaras, so I feel like I might as well just have the smaller size. I'm gonna let that sit for just a second before I go in with the Fan Fest. Start curling the other ones in the meantime. All right, now I'm just gonna go over this one, the Fan Fest. I don't let them get dry in between like my next coat, but I don't like to go over them while they're like way too wet, like when they're just like completely fresh. So I just give it that few seconds in between. Okay, same thing. Starting off with the Roller Lash. I feel like I was just not breathing that whole time. I feel like I just like lost my breath for a second. All right, let's go in with the other one now. I can't believe we're almost done. I gotta get in there with my lips and then we are finished. I love doing get ready with me's. I love giving beauty tips and advice. Even if I'm not necessarily a beauty guru, I feel like I can help a lot of girls who even just, you know, need to know the basics, who really aren't, you know, too versed in beauty and makeup or whatnot. Like, I'm not gonna lie, you guys, I have been doing basically the same makeup routine forever. The products have changed over time, but I do things in the same order. I really never change it up. Like I said, I'm a creature of habit. I stay really consistent. This is honestly the same exact order and way that I did my makeup even in college when I was getting ready to go out on the weekends. The only thing different now is that I don't do winged eyeliner, but that's basically it. Everything else has pretty much stayed the same. I've only changed products a few times, but for the most part, I use all the same brands. I just love all of these brands and I really haven't ventured far out. And also on my podcast for the girls, I do have a few episodes where I give beauty tips. I know I have one that's called like feminine, like something about like feminine energy and whatnot. And I say like tips, like beauty tips, dating tips, flirting tips, like just like a really girly girl episode. I have an episode on like a glow up guide. So that gives some beauty tips, whether that's like makeup tips or skincare tips or even like laser hair removal. Like that's something that I have been doing for a really long time. I know I have like some episodes that are like about lists, like ins and outs, and makeup always ends up falling into those episodes. So yeah, I talk a lot about beauty, even if it's just like the most simple and obvious things. I enjoy talking about it and doing it. As I'm talking about myself doing beauty and whatever, you see me messing up my mascara now, because this is another thing about being a lefty. I feel like I always end up adding so much more mascara on this eyelash because it's like the one I'm going across to for some reason. I don't know if that's true or if that's just what I've convinced myself, but it seems like that's what's happening. So wait, let me just go back in one more time with this one and see if that'll help me like spread it out. So when everything is all dry, like if I ever get mascara on my eyelid, when everything is all dry, I'll just go in with a dry Q-tip. I won't lick the Q-tip, I'll just keep it dry and just rub it till it comes off. Because then if it's wet, it takes off all my eyeshadow. So you don't want to do that. Yeah, so sometimes my mascara ends up a little uneven because of that whole like lefty thing. I don't know why, but it just does. So let's finish up with our lips. I have the Skin by Kim lip liner. I hope that dot that was just on my lip was not here this whole time. Oh, this one is Nude 14. So I think this is her darkest lip liner, I think. Look at how quickly having something on your lips just ties the whole look together. I feel like it just made such a difference. And then I have the Summer Fridays, I think it's called Vanilla Beige. Yeah, Vanilla Beige Lip Butter Balm. I'm obsessed. Absolutely obsessed. This is another one that I use so much. I have another one right here. Same one. Same product, same thing. I didn't even fully finish that one yet. I didn't even run out all the way, but I will not let myself run out of products all the way. So now that one that's kind of empty, I keep just like in my purse, and then I keep this with my makeup stuff. And I can finish there, but I'm not going to because I'm gonna add Rhode on top of it. These are like the same kind of color. They're in the same family. This one is Toast, I think it's called. Yeah, Toast. And I'm just gonna add, it's like a little icing on the cake, you know? You can't even really see it because they are such similar colors, but I'm supporting all women, okay? I'm using both. All right, and there we have it. My makeup is all done for the day. Wow, look at me. I got my hair done and did a full makeup routine in one day. I feel like I better go grocery shopping. I better get out of this house and show myself to people. This was so much fun. Thank you so much to Jamo for having me. Everybody, please make sure that you subscribe to their YouTube channel. And if you want to stay in the know and keep up with me, make sure you're listening to For the Girls podcast. You could find me all over social media with just my name, Victoria Alario. But For the Girls, I have so much coming up, some really exciting, amazing guests, some big names that you girls are definitely gonna know and want to listen to. So really excited about that, to share everything that is to come with you girls. But thanks so much for getting ready with me today. I hope that you enjoyed. Bye.